All right. All right. See, Abusia for era one Abusia Yama Muhina Akwaba to and once again, no, and February the 28th, in fact, the last day of the month,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe February is already done. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the Danyamias for how far one lady no up to this time. So what's free YouTube and also watching free Facebook and also online radio. Yama wakwaba to era one radio. There was said of yard no unya daje na uni etisa adwumadie we no. Yenim sɛ nwummerɛ yi nkɔmmɔde a yɛbɛdi no ɛbɛyɛ nhyira ama wo ne wabusua. Now, it's not just taking in the information, but we'll take the information, so now I apply the information to your friends, who seek a where it needs tweaking, we share this information so you can apply that into your best and say, we'll not just you, but you share information to other people, almost hear information, and we are available. Just in case BB or Hoyan to me uncover Nasa, if you have a question, you can just reach out to us through Era One platform. So just reach out to us. Na yan try say about answer our question or amount. And see you ready, Yabama na ho akwaba. And Pasami first Akonya Namima Yenya software Emmanuel Siedu Yabama akwaba to programming. Isaac Berkon, and so Emmanuel Kwaba, thank you so much. Last week, yes, yeah, and this week, and so Emmanuel Kwaba, and Dr. Wa, you were saying Amal Akwaba to Renzo Jumadi, And as last week, we left off, and last week, and we started on budgeting, into what we did in this is to lay down the principles or foundation of budgeting. Before we get into today, I'll throw the question out there to Penny Penny Obiano can be able to step in. Say, if we are able to, so be able to me summarize it, Nyamaka cry, in the last week, just like the highlights, na yɛn nso ano as a stronger for and dwumadie no.
Ɛde ase ɛdansiam ɛwɔ wadi anim na yɛto ase yɛde financial program no abrɛ yɛ tiefo. Na last week my takeaway was say budgeting ɛyɛ guide ɛboa yɛn lead yɛn. It's not going to control us. Say the yan issue say what budgeter. No, be half and the purse. Everybody's trying to run away because you will control why you won't talk what you intend to buy. But my who said that is not a plan. It's helping us and guiding us to buy what we intend to buy. You can echo baby a yen directing where the money should go. Instead of say Sikano the day baby Sikano wants us to go. And if you say budget, it helps us to save money, and it helps us to avoid wasteful spending. In your enhance your financial situation. And that was what I learned. And I said, last.
All right, thank you. So, Penny Berkon, what's your take away from last day? Just in case, you said we have some new viewers are more sharing today. They just want to know like a recap from last week. What is your take from last week?
Okay, I'm saying, take away the I'm saying a dose on that. But what me person me can answer me say budget a boy me to me take our eye on the price, and not discussing examples. Be said. Main fancy be as opposite, so to me talk her. And I said, also for you, my example, be say, Obia no, Florida, or this in a says or retire person Florida in some neighborhood, Now, and I'm said, and I the price, and I will keep on the eye on to me and she at to tune is semi and the budget, ma truly or retire, or to me, echo now. It's a no boy me to keep our eye on the price.
Right. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Ewa, I know so you're a financial guru, and even though no last week you may say or no, but yeah, can't budget and I mean, what is your take on that? I mean, your take away if it's a bit our viewers as they listen to us.
Sure. I think you guys have done a very good job pretty much explaining and breaking down what a budget is, right? And I think a lot of times, just in general, people are afraid of budgeting, right? But the budgeting is not supposed to restrict your spending. All this is supposed to do is design a game plan where you control your spending. There's a difference between restricting and controlling, because what I realize is that if you don't have a proper budget, you are going to misspend or overspend your money. That's guaranteed, right? If you don't have a budget, if you go to the store, you know exactly what you want to go buy, but you see something that will entice you. Oh, I want to go buy it, or I have a credit card. Let me go swipe it, right? So, but when you have a clear budget and you have a goal of what you're trying to do with your budget, it makes you disciplined. There's a difference between discipline and being tight, right? Because if you're just being tight, you're not going to enjoy the budgeting process. But if you're also enjoying spending, but also now you are budgeting, you're able to have the best of both worlds, right? Because in order for you to be able to have success when it comes to your finances, budgeting is the first place to really start, because that's where you're going to know where all your money is going, and so you can see and have a clear picture on how to be able to cut back on certain places and maybe put more money towards certain places that can bring you more benefit. So in a nutshell, don't think of budgeting as oh, it's going to restrict me, it's too tight. No, think of it as a help or a guide for you to be able to achieve your financial goals, whatever those may be. So that's how I want to describe budgeting.
All right, thank you so much. And I'm one of the takeaways, I'm Pania a boss. I'm especially when you come into young African community now, we tend to say yatonioma on impulse. On say and last week, I think you mentioned some of these things, my cost store. Even I don't even check me will be and I say me nibi. I just go. You come no who now just I duplication. I find myself in that, and maybe now so once in a while we find ourselves in that But I'm not that disclaimer. I'm passing a fancy for say the year can once a meeting and yes, I am 100% perfect.
That's right.
That's right. We are still in the learning, Yes, but there is a challenge here and there. You share now who crying say, yes, share ideas now where it needs very changes, the summary from the last time I heard I'm saying the question you did real last week, was you can be say you say lifestyle changes in relation to budgeting. Lifestyle changes in relation to budgeting, And he took the question out there, Now you hear the premise in area. Into you say you go into details in terms of what budgeting is all about. Where to start, how to start, and how to end, and how to monitor my budget, But before we get into it, many a times, when our lifestyle as a sample, then your budget and so your percent your budget as a son. Into your penny form. Some to the question out there to us is what are some of the lifestyle changes in relation to our budget?
Yeah, almost the audio by the very deep. I don't quite a discussion on this one.
Right.
Almost as human beings, your taste and your preferences, they change as our income grows. Almost say would just $7 an hour, you'll be able to live within $7 an hour. Say Yame Buanes Yadoko $15 an hour. Your taste has changed completely. Before, no, Subway was okay for you, which was $7. Now, no, you see Subway, and Subway is below your class. And I've had super high-end restaurant and our person. And did everybody say when our lifestyle changes, you see Kasim anymore. I like your lifestyle also a change because our taste a change. And our preference also changes. Before now, Honda is okay for you. Unya Honda Civic, we on a burger in the whole town. We see anymore now. No, Honda is beneath your status. And they said, yeah, now we say be a coming Lexus be a coming a BMW be a, and and I'm saying I'm our preference in relation to all things as a son. And we status crosses a son will be as a son. Maybe a Dr. Ua, not Dr. Ua with 3 children. He said, Dr. When I want to come home, he said, Dr. Was now, many 4 children. I think I need a bigger playground and crowd over to me at Ginaho. Maybe I come here swimming pool back home, backyard. I think I can have a cow. And we say a very deep discussion as your become was every.
Yeah, and before I'm penning for about also no, there is a question out there, but you better take the question as we get into it and into was so be a man we'll take the question and ya try I answer Abuani Pano so no. Yeah, and see Penny Isaac, what's your take on budgets and lifestyle changes? What are the relations? Sometimes what happens? Yes, your lifestyle as a son, the impact in your budget so.
Okay. Mesha said develop from medical care so for the no answer na ABM answer question. Most of the time, the my taste near preferences, and if the in the sense, 7% with taste and others and preference better, because I'm keeping my eye on the price. Say, as I'm retired, this amount of income, not a take care of me, and I say, this location, in a comfortable retirement. I don't think I'm really going to care about Sikadudu or Menya any be a car or say because I know I have a goal. And most of the time, the mimi want to say, especially amongst Africans, I have inherent competition be a very unhealthy for our finances as well. And he said, Memphis be as a mimi who say, Opanya sim, I have to BM. Now, me try say or seven BM. Now you who's a arrival. But honestly, Samuel go be at them anymore. I don't really care about a car Opanya sim them. And I don't really care about a car, maybe them. The hands a car beat me them Abba. And the taste and preference, it has a correlation with attitudinal, changes. Normally, it emerges from our environment, anyhow we see people, how people see us, and how, based on our goals, how we want to see ourselves. Honestly, we don't really have to care about the echoes will be life, because if you are crowd, that Bugatti will be a car or them, a car or them, but now so person to now so to be. Maybe I want to kakana or bit more stable for your future, now okoshiskano. And a very important part I've been making note of Sadian. And to your question, Penny say yeah, taste and preference. In other words, say I'm control instant now. Not say yeah trauma necessarily and yeah, of course. Said yeah, Dr. Wadi can kind, and they said the last week yeah kind, you would potentially overspend and even go ahead to borrow and be in debt forever and ever.
Yeah, so true. And what can you, Dr. I know, sir, we're running out of time.
No, it's okay. I mean, boss, I said, Mama King, what more can I add? I think you guys have beautifully described exactly or answered what we're trying to describe, right? Because at the end of the day, I think in human nature, inherently, we want more, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you're doing it within reason, if you're doing it outside of competition with other people, right? There's nothing wrong with, oh, okay, I have Honda. Now, if I'm getting more money, I want to get a BMW. As long as you are still able to focus on your financial goal, right? Whenever I say with people, right, I never ever tell them, hey, you have to start spending on this. If I always ask them, what makes you the most happiest? What makes you happy? Because at the end of the day, all of us, even as advisors, all of us spend money on things that makes us happy. So if you're spending money on a car, it's going to bring you a lot of joy. I will never stop you from doing that. But I ask you, okay, go buy that car that you want. But where else can we take money from to be able to now take money away and build your goal, right? Because when somebody is building a financial house or financial picture and they're able to also get things they like and enjoy it, I realize it's a much more exciting process for them, right? But if you go say, hey, Charlie, stop this now, it turns them off automatically. So the question is, how do we balance trying to allow somebody to also enjoy their life, but also able to focus on their financial picture, right? But the inherent thing about, being competitive, there's nothing wrong with it as long as it's not jealousy or you want to have what they have, right? The Bible even tells us, right, do not covet another man's anything, right? The question is, are you getting it because you think, you believe and you plan your money and you can afford it? Or are you getting it because your next neighbor have it and you want the same thing? That can get you in a lot of trouble, right? That's why planning and budgeting are so critical, because I don't care how much money you make or how little you make. When you budget, you know what you can and cannot afford. But if you go outside of that, you get into trouble. But if you are able to stay within the confines of that budget, it helps you tremendously. Even me as an advisor, literally every month, I budget. Because why? I know things can fluctuate, things can change. So before money even comes to my account, I've already accounted for that money, right? So when I'm out, I might want to get something, I can afford it, but at the same time, I have a goal in mind that I want to achieve, right? To me, I don't subscribe to let me work to age 65 and retire. I mean, at that point, you're 65. Where are you gonna go, right? I'd much rather be able to save my money now so that I can have that freedom earlier in my life, so I can enjoy my money longer, right? So it's really all about what you want to achieve and how important is it to you of what you want to achieve, not what somebody else is doing or what their goals are. What is your specific goal? Because once you can identify that and ascribe to that, it helps you to be able to make clear financial decisions, and it makes budgeting a lot of fun to do. Me, I enjoy it because why? I have a clear mental picture of what I'm trying to achieve financially, and I know what that looks like. So although I may want to go get something just out of me wanting to get it, the question is this what I'm going to buy? Is it going to be an asset or a liability? Is it going to shorten my freedom date, or is it going to lengthen my freedom date? So I make decisions based on my plan and my goals. So I hope I want to kind of add a different dimension to this topic, so That's it for me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Wua. I'm sir, for Waka, your friends, and now, another dimension I made a can most people, most of us are your lifestyle, educated how we do things and make decisions is because we don't have a budget. Because so we work budget, so we income no a cost. You will try now to adjust things a what budget, but because any budget into anytime be a market year $10 an hour, they call $12 an hour per. My dream when me feel said this is time for me to upgrade. But me who said what can I also do to cut on some of the expenses? But right away, and it's like, what can I do to upgrade? So in now I want to move from maybe Ford Escort to Honda Accord and I say Honda Inti. But budget, Sunny D can set it a premise, it's a guide it helps us. A planning a tool. Yes, my lifestyle will change, but some mistake it to be a my year now. A boame cross and a Dr. Wakan too for me to reach my financial goals instead of making all these changes. Last week, yesterday, examples, baby, and I think I mentioned one, a friend of mine, almost like Nima Koso Kakra Mokoto dying within less than a year, a dying call for closure because a video who said, no, expenses no Makofano is too much for them. So they are then a bit to me, you fall into that trap, is keeping your budget in place. So the Muhinase.
Very quick.
Yeah.
What is it? Naturally, without budget, your income will always run faster. Your expenses will run faster than your income.
Yeah.
Naturally. If you say once you bet to a ketu the moment you get a 5,000 raise, already mentally,
Yeah.
Because now we are going to get 5,000. Okay, 5,000. Oh, I can use it as a down payment to get another car. Every car you didn't even need another car. And until that budget need to be wide because lifestyle changes sometimes in the pressure from the society. If you are Ghana from yes, Dr. Ua, and then your doctors. Na Dr. Pana Heka Mutimu. Yeah, we say it.
Of course.
If you know, say one year, then we allow the society to dictate how you should spend your money.
Absolutely.
It's not because of that pressure, okay, society I want to belong. In this year, corporate year, I want to be the one to bring the most expensive car there.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, if you're Krana, I would just want to be the one to have the nicest and the biggest house in town. Like I said, your society who say yes.
Yeah,
no. And I say very careful because that is what is happening. We are running into financial problems because of that. I was an example of that. The other time, say me was school. Now me use Mr. Bushy Gallant. I thought he said no quite be a mom wife for I bought the car for 800. It was a very nice car to me.
Yeah, sure.
Because at that time, as a student, I was making $6 an hour. $17. What kind of car is this?
Yeah.
You remember one society, so I influence how we spend our money.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And see, before we get into the details of your budgets, I think that there is a question on the floor. Try say between I'll say, I have a problem. I want to have a budget, but I have a lot of debt. How can I budget in the midst of the debt?
Yeah. So that's I come across that issue quite a bit, in my experience and in my, advisory business. And I think the number one thing people always think is that, okay, because I'm in debt, why should I budget or how can I budget? I beg to differ. Because you're in debt, you should really want to budget, right? So it's really how you look at it. Because if you don't change what you are doing now, right, you are going to have the same results you've been getting, right? So if you want to have different results, you want to what? Change your habits or look at your debt and see what needs to change. Because guess what? You can have all kind of debt. Credit card debt, student loan debt, car loan debt, mortgage debt. I mean, there's all kind of debt that you can have. And maybe all these different lenders charge you a different rate of or interest rate on that debt, right? But if you don't know how to properly pay off that debt, or if you don't have the knowledge on how to structure your debt so that it's manageable and you can actually have a game plan to pay for it, you're always going to take a very, very long time to pay that debt. But there are actually strategies that you can use to be able to eliminate your debt faster by structuring how you pay that debt, right? For example, I sat down last year or so. I sat down with a young lady, below age 30, and she has some debt, credit card, mortgage, all this kind of debt, right? And I look at how much she was spending per month. And by the looks of it, by the calculations that I did, she was going to be debt free at age 99.
Wow.
She was 27, right? And by age 99, that debt would have cost her over $150,000 in interest. Now think about that, right? When I sat with her, the same amount of money she was spending per month to pay down that debt, I showed her how to reallocate it and how to pay that debt. And if she follows the plan, she'll be debt free, including mortgage, in less than 20 years. Now imagine how much money she would have saved by paying off all her debt, including mortgage, in less than 20 years compared to 99 years, right? So to me, don't feel overburdened by debt, right? Or don't fear debt. If you're in it, just seek help on how to get out of it, right? And it starts with sitting down and properly planning your money. Because no matter how much money you're making, you can find a way to pay off that debt, but it's going to take some level of sacrifice, right? There's certain things that you enjoy now that you may not be able to fully enjoy because now you need to make changes to be able to pay off that debt. And I always say this, the longer you pay any lender, the more money you're going to pay them in the end. So the key is to figure out how to expedite paying down your debt so that you can have freedom, because debt is the number one obstructor to building wealth if you don't know how to properly eliminate it.
Yeah, Dr. That's it.
Almost the question could be say a budget related to budget. The question will say, how can I deal with my debt and my budget? One was dealing with managing debt is part of budgeting control or two. And you know, the NTSS or your budget need to be one money to your debt and you say. Now, no, with the budget, basically, how much the interest rate in the is, how much the person is paying on interest. And the fact the class one who say, hey, the credit card $8,000. But every month, I'm paying $500. Now $500 and $450 is interest. That the mere fact is that what realizes it will help you to consider paying off that debt. Budget, any debt, they go hand in hand. Because budgeting a bit me aboa ama wetimi a daily and as I manage with your debt. And you can't say because of I'm dealing with debt and I'm not going to do budgeting, because when you're budgeting you won't be able to manage the debt effectively.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Penny Isaac.
Okay. Wait there, as some of cancer see, I'm saying maybe may talk product to be a Costco, and then I'm so mammy from credit card and talk. Now I am not to careful. Like I just wanted to see how it was like. After the month and also I paid what I needed to pay on time, but still I not almost charging me interest rate. Now not almost so. I'm saying, what? I'm not doing this. The one I'm going to now immediately. And it's a very important part. I said, once you are able to, analyze and realize if there's how much interest you are paying near that, and a bomb man will say, no, you are throwing money away. Now, Kaka and person may kind of say, I don't say, as handsome my year kind last week, you can say discipline nima and yajuma. And the self-discipline is very, 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 very important in the sense so why budget and every as I want to me, because like what's my budget but BBC if you are controlled by your emotions, unfortunately, over to budget and action baby. Now why you doing this away? Bubu say actually was say at the name doesn't come here but now it's too late. And the discipline here very important. Discipline is all about present sacrifices for future benefits. Said the Bible quite the and say, bra, breast is how cannot be compared to the glory and upon the Bema in the future. In the same way, within the budget, see to me a share also need to me, and yet a matter of CBA prepare and I CBA make I say not me ye you boss sometime binana me boss about kunana or not or cancer reach him. He was very proud of it, but I'm not sure that it was the best. No, say Nisika, he was a financial controller of the boss in mind. Was it or no? Or making sure that Nisika will be an obviously no their investments are be. It is a true bunya cry. Ngofoko akọ no mo de omo twibo de ne eyi nkotomre na na yiri su se nenti bronya to mi anwa akọ kakra. But I say well yes I'm not sure whether that made him wealthy, but he became very wealthy. And sometimes sacrificing probably not too extreme, but sacrifices to a greater extent and what made me Now one key thing with Obra Yebe go into how I beat your budget and say before you ever get money into your account, and I say before every single dollar, and I say be a CD ever drop into your account, make sure say now I'm planning for this kind of year. I guess I want plan is kind of be too much, a bit too much because then also for can be or you just imagine say 5,000 have a by idea, say I'm the bay. It is a one more money I'm planning. Say never to me we are. Almost is coming from baby home baby now.
Yeah, and that's a penny, and yeah, I'm sending penny for you now. I can't know. Nay, penny out there question about was in the midst of what I would now, no, quite ben now, be fast or be budget. And penny 4, I can't be on back. The bottom line is because it's a what they can, and tip crunch a budget, because the goal is so free, sir, a can out anymore. A quam bang and our fast will be free more. Sa habit now, ye, into a ma will call a canimono. If you continue with sa dear na, sa can be doing him, sir. But budget and Sanya last week I can, this week I can. Budget no, I tool be a boy more free a cow dinimo. Now, so what you are doing. Yeah, indeed, this is the time cry we hear budget and pa. Now who sika eba their air call how you will spend sika now we hope is information be bring penny for edia bani na no above no make a decision. Indeed, now no ya pese ya transition na me beside this question just quickly is it too late to budget? Because a bit beside the question for break can so as you see I just said Yasha said that I just says you see I too late for me. But let me throw a question out and paying for more taking is it too late to budget?
What was it? As long as we're spending money, you can do budgeting. Budgeting in specific time, say that's it, any time which means spending that means is there must be controls about me spending the way you intend to spend. And yes, what happens is you'll be keeping up with the Joneses. And I wish you said Ebianca, a tear for you movie, keeping up with the Joneses. You want people they portray to be wealthy. Now, or more, no, more products, or maybe no more time. And the rest of the West addressing in near ma, Usukunas, acquire dear. Na dear, and so no on one casan Sicano crown only be our day yet. Now also attractive to do what you don't intend to do. And as long as I was spending money in India, you can do budget. Budgeting in this specific time, the year says that's the and I say year and I started January, bedroom February, it's too late. And you can do budgeting even today. Yeah, can say.
Yes. And I brought a question because now we know be Kasa just it's in relation to Nipa question about a cow there now me man some guidelines in terms of this is the time where also now a few way cry drew March na me budget there. It's on no budget in a year no like January 1.
Yeah.
Into January 1, we and penny for boss January 1, crowd ye. That's the one follow through or big can say, I heard the question draw. No, visiting the BMT to her, no, it's too late right now. No. But now, also sometimes, apart from like different sources, a BIA can be no one said no. I didn't know anytime no. You can even December 31st, right? You can even start your furnace do something into Yadam for more take on it.
Now the beauty about the budget here to say there are so many spendings. Sometimes we don't even know say we are spending. Also now make us say Obu Okrampa or use cable or what Netflix accounts what you are Netflix and so we name set or Netflix because at the end a automatic deduction. Na menim ya so baba ko kasa na say a car wash ibi na car wash no waje ne Virginia no Virginia no waje bie ejino omutua ozotua $32.99 na watu free Virginia aba beta Maryland say onim say wotua $32.99 no because it's not a big amount into again say into one share kra was say account budget asemi no start say near or find the bank statement or expenses a woman and we go say wotua $32.99 abekwa Virginia la bela be free Maryland yasa me kokoro me car e wo Virginia bia if you are there are so many a small spending here itimi eboa ye me itimi yifri mu the budget no there you can do it e ma ye kase if you need you need to start doing it.
Yeah, Penny, that was it. All right. Until now, me as an individual, and as a minimum bushia, as someone penny for more can mate, me who say, I need to make some changes. Into my gym was me up to some percent, me so me budget be. Budget, I can't, who what the budget is. See, I'm so me person me ye into my first question is a crime bank na me fast one me shas ye aye. Na budget no no the components na ne de me sika eba ni sika eko and say me savings and so no I can me budget ho. But before I be ho no sisi ano mpanifo mo nkyerɛ me ɛkwan bɛn na mɛfa so kra mɛhyɛ aseɛ na mso mayɛ bi ti ma to question na ma mpanifo mo ayɛ na yɛhu budget n baabi a yɛhyɛ aseɛ afi ne baabi a yɛpɛ sɛ yɛde kodo.
Okay, if your paniazik my idea I'm to ask what was that answer cry when your budget no and say ultimate or spouse etnasi now come to the same financial terms now agree on some financial principles be. For example, one of the financial principles would be say how do we want our retirement to look like? ABI better retirement as maybe say minimum you translate who say okay you person retire you live decently and no say you allocate sika for retirement and create problem because you get to say this is how we want our retirement to look like. See you get to say this is the neighborhood we want to save money to live. Say you can say you allocate sika akwa any problem. It is the first thing they say your spouses no any your man your translate me who say financially no we agree we are on the same page. And yes, what happens and they say ebia your budget near your paper natural which you bet you ya and it say media car me use when akura no kra mani nya ho they say the Bugatti as things that the back car Bugatti as Bugatti is so steer mu da eno an so it is a kobasa budget na ya spend time I draw no kra will be wasted because we are not on the same financial choice. And I think that I know your idea it can assess it. You say you go through. I think that no bet me up why. You say there is a kiba not with the account.
Yeah, Penny Isaac, what's this? See, I said no. Me pesa me share budget as so me nkwa me pesa me ya na say me ne me yere ne me ma see ya hu say someone mo kan na ma gya to me pesa me ye. How do I start?
Okay, I'm said the software see do kind na no. Say a individual say a couple. I was say ultimate financial goals. And the goals man is similar so. Say within the next year, within the next 2 years, within the next, where do I want to be in terms of ABA, mete, ABA, me masuku, ABA, my jumasem, ABA, my retirement. There's so many factors come in. And you would want to get some financial goals. And ABA, how frequently, now I'm talking about some of the goals. How frequently ABA, overseas our closet munioma. You know, how frequently ABA over pesi ABA like overseas our car based on need. And it's our kind of marketing getting in now. And it's when you all the financial goals now, it becomes a very good starting point. Because when you actually start, you know, say, because this is how I want to, and I say that this is where I want to be in terms of this and this and that, and you know, allocations near easier because a BR how much you like to spend based on how much is coming. Now, I may yet finance person, but I know about this. But sometimes I have for this. So, watch my DBM, my very conscious of it. You know, my course could near the idea of finance, meaning, but if you have my business, I have for so. They are made checking a bank account every single day. Maybe I say, "Ah, there I say, we bit my real seeker." It's a one check here. Not way. It's a very important part. Bit my as hard. Nana, I also for car watchers. I think I was going to use my own as an example. I know or car sergeant in my main car. My subscriber to say car wash be. Month be out the na. Or more pride can say you can come and wash your car every single day within the month. Mesha, and I think a few months in as I think you are a month to be a binyanya quine so maybe days are make us a days I mean during the month to be not so to one me and I say be a Sunday to one me and go for like from Canada because me and at time I may never consult. You was a during the material about Kobe Barco or Yenubi, but almost every day on a module says canoe. No, I'm real because I hit my counter, I see it. Name, you know, say, is this really worth it? Do I have to? I mean, say, yes, my home make be once or twice or thrice in the and I say 4 times in a month. May analysis not say, mechanical boom, and I say, less than the mutual for the month, and I mean, time on every day now. You know, getting a financial goal, no, a very important part before you even think about it.
I very important. And the reason by friend is the question about out there, no, sir, as a busian. And Debbie, I tell people this when it comes to Beman and you word no, and then your banus word no, and then young Kodana Juma, ye Juma. So a yamra, Mfansa Beman, Yamia, don't want who say, okay, because of your sick assembly identity, I say, Yadin shall be at all. And when he answer, Obe Fred Busiani na Yatanase, near who said, Sisi I say no, ye whom ye sick a hanekwa high saint no. I said, be a yet to me, I didn't say be a two ye sick no. But most of the times, the air when he said, Bear man free said, or no, no, acquire the no, or the abroad ban or my quiet budget, your budget in me, Sisi, you know, I feel now beton to my back, overton to me, you know. I mean, Inti yes na it say wo share obano and as obano so share bema. But this is a mutual agreement. Inti emrebia budget in discussion best start with our conversation and say mamingedi abusuani na involved. Mame manu so ehum na ehu say debia no menkoto Nike shoe $100 $200 near there no enya there bi o ebe we can afford it. And that's a main kotoy. Into say, me man nya sa understanding no. Me yen so nya sa understanding. Na me so bear man so nya sa understanding na. Ya the new man to ha e money implementation and say execution ye easier. But where sa ya nika nya sa initial discussion na akwaya ba ko na akwaya oba na akwaya na de be hye bear man ko and as a vice versa e be wie no it tends to fail. Instead of me put the question out there, send a beya. Obi a person get into budgets, or person your budgets, you who say, and yet nipa ba couldn't decide my yena, but a initial discussion among us. Yes, Penny, I said, but
the kind is very important. One said, as I say, I agree. Now, one of the principles is why here no transparency and accountability. See, I can say a budget as a bushia. I see in transparent because the company say, maybe I can say a budget, maybe a budget, yes, share pepper, messini a free honor. Say the mean come create free, but human ban. Any Macquack add the additional account to my accounts and so. Maybe I am on 500 being quaha. This account, I'm for the account. So, it is a coyana, budget will never work. Because transparency any idea a woman. And I said, do a budget in mono, maybe ya transparent, in Tinibiana, yam so then you make this is the beer frame, a whiana, my question is secretly, I want to change the quack command. And one budget in your complete because there's no transparency. And we need to also be accountable. So say, yeah, budget, and yes, I hear the baby say, you better. You better budget never near far draw to need a quackership. Was it because Madame by one in a budget now? Was in a year swap Louis Vuitton was a bibisa. And I also opposite or pay be near the end. So I had a better go for a budget in a bread. And was a budget in the tea. Say me the engine free moon. Young Yanni, I didn't want to see a budget in it. It is the opposite engine from Louis Vuitton was one in Shimuno. Cross no, never. Louis Vuitton, the shop. As simple as that. Also, a ban channel who be your year because the be of the budget in BI is something that's important to them. And they say, you better budget now. Answer quite never people crown towards a year, he had to be more budget. Is that transparency a year, Juma, a family, no, let to me, Abua.
Yeah. Penny for Adam was Penny Isaac, and so what we become.
Yeah, a very important part. I not may piggyback on the Penny SCM kind about involving the kids. Sometimes, if you are a bit much means and as I'm why do you have to involve them in budgeting? So Maisie meet me, Mamma Bahun said. Me fancy be as a month and also water bill buy a assuming say $250 medical. Now some budget $80 another $100. Meet me the actual banner say hey issue bill buy $250 but $100 and budget here. Now who says so ko sheba from our ultimate boost no sa 1 hour now that's you know now nyam for supporting it is a budget in this about former. You need to make sure say you are intentionally free and you see the only but you are intentionally free. And I've done that and I've made them conscious of that because I've seen some question how much me gare sa you have 1 hour no not like is only gross but you don't really have to waste water because we are planned. It is how am I conscious some fear nothing you try say hey Kayo Zono Susu, a waste Zono, almost you at an anti I know what makes me involved and cry in the budget based on the comparing it with the actuals, you know. Now, but we are move over a role to play. Now, looks as for the family side, we've been dwelling on maybe Obano Kunombet na say, but numbers yeah, casa for the areas when people don't have joint accounts. Because there are some families that but notwithstanding, there's still a possible to meet my budget. It's not really the best there, but a bonus. Yeah, like I know a family of music, but omuna financially focused to yeah to me because I be nim your minimum couple bisa na papa na say some this kind of boomer like obano spend this kind and you say they are spending anyhow. Ebi na adeno and yeah bad, but if you are not beat me, I catch at least I spending but I don't say can go man oh yeah and I yes I know cause okay ne my mentor me home. Now was it too na
Obi this gara jogi wa.
And financial focus yeah, but about more kakra. In that way, still a budget can work because a balance people are giving contributions to what needs to be, spent on. It probably be as the discussions go on, maybe a bit back and so on. I'll say be like another time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Penny. What touch on a very sensitive topic. So we'll share your list, and I'm saying about two platforms. So I can't list no more. Like say, you keep a joint account, and I say you keep the impact in this annual a very delicate question. You don't want to say for the abandon. Penny, the last say, you better talk about that in the detail, a topic on its own. You better that I can want them. But in the interest of time, and I'm saying, you will question about her, and per se, yes, na yadi jumadi no at the benefit. The question, I say, how can I budget when my children in their teens and their needs are growing? And the follow-up question is also they are eating more than they used to eat. Do I budget at the expense of their growth? Three questions in one.
Send yes, auto more bag about why says auto by 5. Because I come to one term. What was that? And no crown, so crown and mat as a budget. What was that? And ra or more teenagers, almost so or more niece or more wants. Woman near ma or more panel a change. And I can tell you, say, I could be being said Papa Whisker. Every child knows, he said, yeah, Cassica for one America ha, the parents come. And so the parents are not part of it. But one would 100% or 100% sure, say. So, open Nike bus one. That's what China Papa Tinema meeting Thomas because the parents and it will be. And until necessary, your budget now you involve it and Colano, a woman. If you say, so one way you could cruma crown Colano, or Moody Dicurano, move with still the animal baby. I will say one lead the animal more high. Oh, Moodia, oh, your mama, I don't want this. Oh, yeah, I want this. I want her. This woman, who says, Sunny Medina is costing money. Nanzena will say one year, Bibina. I don't want this. I want this. Let me say, okay. One thing I work as I want this. Then, yeah, so you will see getting in our piano. That means they said, hey, Bia, on my young program, near my uncle, our mope. That means I won't get the money to buy this for you. It's now you need to choose what you want. Every day, while I was in any because when we say was saying one, I won't get the money to do the other thing. In the essence, and Kurano cool many more let them let's involve them with our budget. No one tears here. Maybe to me about pay.
And Penny, as before, you what can be I think sir, I am very important. I hope sir, you're here for pay attention to that. You mentioned sir, sometimes here sir, you be my man who the budget and the actual. Typical as an answer me about Penny and the Omian Sanwas or Tukan and was on them shiri. Into Nancy and Ra. Yeah, my coffee tank by $72. Then I'm buying that. You don't say, look, your friends a few months ago, like 30 something. CC 72 something, you know. So mere coffee not necessarily that we need to cut some money now. That no well who I say who are them crying yam share no. Well who the reality no. What can otiasia no Eboa, I hope sir, TF4 will take that into consideration. Yeah, Anthony Isaac,
yeah, quickly. I'm saying now, I don't know what say. Yeah, Shannon, so say. So say, I'm more fan so many into their teens now. Sometimes maybe nobody dear man, but so who says I don't know, available. They just still want to go and grab it. CBS snack, IBA. Organic snack give you an award, then I be a cotton, CB and Cabela Saka, was a day on bit my winning NASA. And sometimes, you know, it's good to also ration. One way to think about that, and say, beer, so fear. Ubers may lock a binadin, those you only make it available to them when they need it. Because most of the time, no, they don't need it. Like we will condemn na was phobia question when na I say it's very, very important. And once we are trying to help them understand, say beer, say instead of say you can say you love to choose between this and that. Say means to say mal. Now, in order for them not to think say beer, or more parents more than I say we won't care about them no. We should also find other ways to reward them somehow. Say beer, some more it's more creative about like and I say I'm sorry sorry from like an opano. And then I'm not reading command and who say me mano alcohol paper no church like much menu and prices. And I'm buying say yes. Restaurant, this is our menu. What would you want? It's you know, I saw so no, this is creative, so I'm going to be paying them for whatever they sell to me, they make and sell to me. Until your menu know that you marry and you choose say, oh, like a oatmeal with fruit. It's the air I'm call ye to me and on back at China, quasi on a cocoa tea. And yes, I'm bill one of me bill buying it, so okay, on my discount. On my discount.
Family discount.
No, is it? Yeah, can I say it's $20. Don't you two and penny for two, no, and I'm more $20 cash, and they were happy. I know say I'm going to be showing them how they are saving it, which they are trying to do already. And he said, "But are like money say beer, and you say basically your thing, but you are trying to make sure say you better
Yeah. All right, penny for where the say agroni yada no na you know adian so santi no yemre no do you better abusuafo nyina ase era one family yadamo ase wo semonya adaje na nwumre money yen aye program no yeah budgeting no na ye go so no na a very extensive topic and an interesting topic interna you're spending more time you started from the premise and then so no yeah, a different dimension at the Abba. Yami Abdomoa next week, same time next week in the 6 p.m. So yeah, Baba na fedia, you're breaking it down into day and a core your fence your budget anymore in terms of your can't seek a somewhat. The idea crown you consider say income no. Is it market young major and I said, yep, then and a come your back was expenses and so no your back was there's a difference between expenses and the debt. You differentiate between those, you know. Nani na yenya a line item your budget is so into your time and no into penny for your damuna send you rent so munya daje na mobile one radios na money ebedi dwumadi a stranya minshra na ne bambo e dia ma nti for until next week you know ya damwase nyame enshira mu nyina.
Yeah, bye bye.
Yeah.